So this is where it all started, a simple patchwork t-shirt, and this is where we are now. Let me break down the last 8 years of patchwork in denim. So yeah, in this video I want to showcase the last 8 years of me patchworking, from this t-shirt all the way up to my latest denim item. It's less of a tutorial, this video, but it's more just to showcase how I've gotten from my first ever rough cut item to my latest. So this was my first ever item that I made for rough cut. I made it back in 2017, and essentially it was made from 6 different pairs of 50p jeans from the local jumble sale. I used to go there, fill up a rucksack full of denim and lug it all home and create these pieces in my bedroom at my mum's house. So this was in like the transition period between my first brand called Half and Half Threads into rough cut, which I still obviously do. But you can see how messy this is. I made a few of these garments around the same sort of time. When I look at this now, it's like a relic, but it's also like atrocious, and I wouldn't make something like this now. But this is the basics and the building blocks to what I'm sort of doing today. I started with denim because, to be fair, all of the fabric shops around my area just sold old granny's sort of fabric, and none of it was actually any good. So I sort of picked up this sort of style of having these frayed edges and sort of layering on top of each other. Obviously, like, you can see the difference in what I'm doing now, but this was the building blocks for what I'm doing. I started with denim because it is just the cheapest thing to use. I guess that's why quite a lot of people do patchwork denim, quite like a consumed item, and there is so much denim made in the world, so I guess that sort of sustainability side of things is great to sort of reuse the material and all that sort of thing. But as you can see, I've got grey with dark blue and light blue, and this is something that I sort of wouldn't do today. But as time went on, I sort of crafted a style with my denim. I moved into the bottom of my shed at the bottom of my garden and sort of absolutely locked in and hermited myself to just create all sorts of denim pieces. I did like a puzzle patchwork, I did all sorts of different like shapes that were all sewn together, and I just started building upon the style. But yeah, over the years of making patchwork denim, I sort of started crafting loads of different items, and I realised that if I did the weave in the same sort of direction, then the sort of bottom white thread, the warp and the warp, yeah, if they were both flowing the same way, then you'd have the grain of the material running the same way, which was sort of like revolutionary in my head. And I realised that like everything, when it sort of got clean, started making sense, and I'd make trousers, bags, utility vests, puffer jackets. Yeah, it was just like a long process to just make something patchwork denim that was different from like what everyone else was doing. Sort of figure out your own sort of style with it, you know? Yeah, over the years I have sort of learnt to work with denim more efficiently, whether it's like the right washes of the certain colour I'm doing, or you know, the grain of the material going the right way. This is my newest denim item. It has taken me 4 to 5 days to create now. It is a denim sashiko patchwork mountain hiking bag. It's a bit of a mouthful. I am insanely happy with it, and I've been working on denim for so long that like to be able to come out with something like this and like double sort of take it and be able to really be surprised with what I've created. It does make me sort of look back at the old items and think, geez, we've come like a long way, you know. I make sure that all of the denim that I use is the same weight and consistency, and I always try and patchwork it the same sort of way. And just adding all the technical details, it normally starts with my grade D and C offcuts, which I can't really use for anything else other than patchworking. I just use sections of the denim, and then I rip it up, sort of patchwork it over the pattern piece that I'm going for, and then I construct it into a garment like this. I've used a lot of hand stitching techniques in this. It's called sashiko. It's a Japanese sort of technique of mending denim, but you can use it in sort of an artistic way, which is what I've done here. And I just draw certain patterns and certain like shapes and grids, and I sort of complement the white that is the bottom fray with the white sort of colour thread sashiko, and then just go crazy with all the different patterns. I also love all of like the back and forth sort of like darning stitches that I do all around the sort of like corners. I always make sure that I like just go over and then back and forth stitch on the bits that need a little bit more structure. I feel like it just adds to that sort of like look, and then obviously I add all my rough cut patches to it, which are the medieval sort of like bits of artwork and history that I look into. But overall, obviously the construction is way more sort of complex, and the garments I'm making now are way more technically difficult. I've got better at pattern cutting and just really focusing on the little details. Obviously there's like a 7-8 year gap between the first garment I showed you and this one, but it's really important to sort of show, because this is just like straight 8 years of dedication from me to just be able to get to a piece like this, and I'm really happy with it. But yeah, I guess why the patchwork denim? It's kind of just because I started off like doing it and I didn't have much budget with what I was doing in rough cut, so I just kept sort of going with the same sort of thing and just perfecting it with what I sort of had. But also I do like get really inspired by the certain passions and hobbies that I have, and one of them is that I'm very into sort of like the western sort of cowboy era of like the California gold rush and all that sort of era of Levi's jeans, and you know, like digging up like old Levi's in like caves and mines and all that sort of, and then also the mixture of all the sort of historic scriptures and illustrations that I put on the bag. I think it molds really well, and every single color that you use, whether it's like a blue or a khaki green or like a dark blue or a black or like a beige or brown, I always feel like you're creating a whole new sort of theme. And to be able to create something like this, which is sort of functionally a camping bag or a hiking bag, you know, and then creating it out of like patchwork denim, which isn't necessarily like waterproof, it adds that sort of like art aspect to fashion, which is always what I've sort of been going for with rough cut and the brand. It's less like physically functional, but just more sort of like aesthetically pleasing with the technical sort of aspects and just getting better at my craft. But I feel like I'm telling a story in like every garment that I make. All around me I'm putting all of the different pieces up on my walls and sort of just filling my studio with an archive of pieces, whether that is my patchwork stuff or my printed Renaissance stuff. Every piece tells a story, and there is so much detail in denim, and I think that is why I use it. So essentially you don't really want to copy me. However, if you wanted to sort of like take a bit of inspiration from this and start creating your own garments, then I do sell this denim online in different sort of quantities and shades. You can pick your quantity, your waist size. Obviously the higher waist you sort of order, the more material you're getting to be able to cut up and make into stuff. I sell all the different grades from A to C, and yeah, that is available on my website now, so you can go and check that out. But I just thought I'd say that because yeah, no one really sells material to creators, so I'm doing it. I guess I wanted to showcase this because it gives a little bit more backstory into like who I am and what I've done. Hopefully the videos that are flying over the top of this, of all my sort of history, will showcase to you what I'm, I have been doing for the last 7-8 years. And there is a definite big difference between these two pieces, which is actually quite crazy, and I haven't noticed until I looked at them and realised I wanted to do a video like this. But essentially, if anything, it's inspiration for you guys to go and start making clothes. The time can take a long time, but it is just, you won't notice it when you start making clothing. And yeah, that is the two pieces. It is a massive drastic difference, but I very much like them both. This t-shirt is a relic that I'm never going to sell. I think it's priceless. And this bag is for sale. It's on my website now, and you can check it out. And if you're interested in it, go and buy it, or just go and check out the product photos because they look pretty cool, and I'm very happy with this bag. But yeah, I'm happy I shared this with you guys. If you wanted to sort of check out more about me, I think it's good that I'm getting a little bit more personal with you guys and sort of showcasing the ins and outs of how I've grown. There's plenty of ways you can sort of look into more of what I do. There's a website which sort of goes through all my studios, or you could go on the different pages there. There's loads of write-ups, or alternatively you can just click on another video because they are very informative and you get breakdowns of the things I do. Soon there is going to be a new character on this YouTube channel, and we're going to be doing challenges and sort of like really fun videos. The next one is going to be a cool video where we use the world's worst sewing machine to make a garment. So there's going to be more interactive and fun videos coming along. If that's something you're interested in, then definitely subscribe. And if you just want to see me make cool shit, then subscribe, because yeah, there's going to be some cool garments on the way. So yeah, see you guys later. Thank you for watching, and this is an ancient crazy garment, and this is my new patchwork Sashiko mountain hiking bag. Go check it out on my website. Goodbye.